What a beautiful intro. What's up, Kev? What's up from beautiful, beautiful Orlando? How are you?
Ryan, I'm better than I deserve, my friend.
Hey, maybe a little honesty's good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. So, a lot going on. Glad you were able to go because last time we talked, you didn't look like you would be able to make it. So glad things worked out that way. No
Yeah,
doubt.
and I'm gonna say that for final thoughts. I mean, Kirby Joseph just got a pick, give him the NFL lead, but that's not worthy of my final thoughts. It's pretty good, it's pretty cool, but I want to share something with my final thoughts. I think it would be pretty powerful. So
Okay, we'll do that. So I know Kev actually has basically bumped shoulders with some Illini greats while he's been down there.
yeah,
And I'm not just talking about John Wright. I'm talking.
what
he
up,
is
what up, Reese?
he is one of them. He is one of them. But so before we delve into the game tomorrow that we're all super excited about, what how many fans? How many do you think Illinois fans going to show out tomorrow at the Citrus Bowl?
I really do, Ryan. I think we're it's probably 60-40. And
60 who?
I would give the edge to South Carolina because I saw more of their fans venturing over into our stuff today. And forgive me, hey, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I've had a few drinks tonight, and because it's been a great time. It's been a phenomenal experience, and I'm in my hotel, and I walk to the point, and I hang out with the Illinois fans, and I hang out with Illinois legends, and I hang out with just people who are just all about Illinois, and it's been a lot of fun. And I would encourage anybody who has never been to a road game, a bowl games, and NCAA tournament games take on another level because you get to rub shoulders with people that you've always wanted. Dude, I'm sitting there tonight at the Illinois bar, hanging out with some friends I haven't seen since high school. Stacy Cox, now Stacy Plotner, her husband Tony. They happen to walk by. We sitting there talking, and we're friends on Facebook. And Sean Wax walks by, and get a chance to talk to Sean. Sean had a big role in the university, and obviously was a phenomenal receiver, number 88 for the University of Illinois. And it was there's just so much access when you come to these things that make it so incredible. And Nate, I'll get into that a little bit about running into Brownlow, and he and I sat down together for a while tonight. It's just a phenomenal experience. And by the way, so what I'm saying is, my buddy Pete and I, we went to the Illinois bar. There's Illinois experience, and it was great. It was phenomenal. And then we walked over to the South Carolina one. And by the way, South Carolina fans have been phenomenal. They have been so cool through this whole experience. There was probably more South Carolina fans that ventured into the Illinois experience than Illinois fans that ventured into the South Carolina experience, and I just know it's a lot closer for them. So I'm guessing tomorrow's attendance at the game will probably be about 60-40, 60 Carolina, 40 Illinois. But I also don't predict the stadium will be full by any stretch.
It'll be
So,
a nice
but
showing because Iowa.
Illinois showed out. Illinois showed out, no doubt, Ryan.
That's great. That's great, and I'm super happy. And we know many Illini fans that live in Florida, and I told them, no way in hell you can't go to that game. You better go to the game. Like Matt Moore, I think he's going to be there. I'm glad. I knew John Wright was going to go, but I'm just happy that you were able to go. And
and ran into his beautiful wife, who was such a sweetheart and who made us chili when we went up to the Northwestern a couple of years ago. Yeah.
I made a vow, though, and I'm telling you this, and I'm saying it here. A big season is upon Illinois football next season. And no matter where they play, if it might be hosted in college football playoff game, but I will not miss their postseason next year. So,
yeah, if Illinois can find a way to win 8 games next year, it'll be the first time in school history they win 8 games in 3 out of 4 seasons. So there's my buddy Pete. Say what's up, Pete.
Hey, y'all.
You're Kevin's agent, aren't you?
He is.
Yeah, that's right. So speaking of agents, we got a little promo here for you. We're not sponsored, but we should be. And that's the reality, folks, because we reach Illini fandom, okay? And this is not some cheesy, no pun intended, podcast.
way.
This is the real deal here, okay? I went to high school with this homie over here, all right? Let me tell you one thing, okay? So it's a journey, okay? I'm stealing the headlines from Kevin's finish here tonight,
Yes.
but it's a journey. It's a
Can we let
maturation.
Pete have final thoughts tonight? Okay.
No, that's on me.
No. So I'm going to just break it down for you, folks. This is a one-time appearance, okay? I don't want to disappoint my fans out here, but it is a journey, okay? So Kevin and I were reminiscing, as homies will do, with a line of legends next to us, okay? Which was extra special, by the way. I know Kevin is full of it, but in this regard, he was not full enough. It was amazing. And these folks were very genuine, very cool, super chill. They actually wanted to know what we're up to, what we're doing. All right. So anyway, I want to first thank my wife and my 4 kids for letting me get the hall pass.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And the deuce. He dropped the deuce. Okay. Because 48 hours ago, which is a double deuce. Okay, folks. He said, "Hey man, are you going to the game?" And I said, "No." And then, boom, 25,000 American miles later, my wife, cool, I'm here. We're here. And so I've been to a couple bowl games, all right? So I went to the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. I went to the MicronPC.com Bowl, which is the last bowl I went to celebrate the millennium. And I will not mention how good of a time that was with my ex-girlfriend. But, hey, let's just say we rang it in. And we rang
2000.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Virginia, we rang their bell, okay? But
Bing, bing.
Vegas does not like us tomorrow, ladies. But I'll tell you
I'm not
what,
worried about Vegas, man.
we are going to have fun,
Mhm.
and we are going to have a competitive game tomorrow.
I
believe
agree.
We have better special
Mhm.
teams.
Yep.
I think we have a lot of positional advantages, and this is going into way more depth than I have been able to swim in these ponds of Orlando. But I will finish by saying I look forward to the special guests that Deuce has been developing here at the bar. For real. Like, these are Illini legends he's going to have up on the podcast.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to say a special thank you, okay, to you guys for keeping it real in Illini land. And you're not sponsored. You're not fancy Cheez-It fans over here, right? Maybe in the future you'd be sponsored.
See Chris.
All right. Hey, I got a pair of socks.
And Brandon.
All right, so what
Final
I'm
thought,
saying
Pete.
though,
Go for it.
is,
Pete and Pete.
final thought. Hey, this is a good guy here.
He's really good.
Final thought is it's about the journey. I know this fool, and I say that with respect, for over 3 decades. All right, and
He just gave you like
It's
4
about
minutes of his airtime. That's
He
you
did.
know what? I have all the airtime, okay? Because you know why? I'm dropping nuggets of knowledge. I'm cheesing
giving
it
Pete
up.
15 more seconds. It's all good.
Hey, big man hug to all y'all out there, okay? It's about the journey. This guy, myself, all of us mature through life, as has this team. That's why we're going
Right.
to win tomorrow.
We're going to win tomorrow.
We're going to win tomorrow.
Sir.
All right, I'm out. Peace out. Cheese It sponsor
That's right.
next.
Appreciate it.
Peace.
Peace out. Let me get some Cheez-Its up here.
So Pete's prediction: we're going to win tomorrow. I like it. I
already ate my Cheez-Its, so forgive me.
Oh, what do we got there?
Some Cheez-It socks.
Okay.
Oh, I need to wear the hat. I'm just gonna wear the hat.
Don't sell out that much.
No, I'm totally selling
Not
out.
until we sign the contract.
Yeah, I was going to say
totally
Cheez-It
selling
could
out.
sponsor this. That'd be amazing. All right, Illinois fans have showed up, Kev. I
Yes,
expected
absolutely.
those South Carolina fans to bring the hall. Like they support their team, and I'm actually happy to know that their fans aren't like some rude, obnoxious bunch. You know, it sounds like.
I mean, there's a few. I mean, there's a few asshole Illinois fans too. So, but their fans have been really gracious and.
By the way, I love that you called that guy that wrote a book about the his fandom that thinks that's a special thing. I love how you called him Carl, which is pretty funny.
I talked to him today.
That's great, Carl. I don't even need to say his name, but it's pretty funny. All right, so now as we delve into the game, They've got two of their best players not playing. Kennard,
Absolutely.
their all SEC Defensive Player of the Year, who's going to probably be a first-round draft pick. Very Johnny Newton-ish, if you'd say. Basically, being the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. And then their running back, Rocket. I don't even know his last. Yeah, he's setting out too. So I've been looking and listening to Shane Beamer quite a bit. I listened to the Citrus Bowl press conference, and they do have a lot of veteran running backs behind him that will be playing, but they're not really there's no real star power in the backfield. They're just guys that can be adequate, decent guy. And then the defensive line, though, still a pretty good one, even without their all-world play. Kennard, their defensive end. I like offensively. I will say this: Sellers. I've watched a few of their games. If Clemson did a great job on him, except they let him get loose twice for 2 huge runs. Now, keeping Sellers in the pocket and making him beat you with the pass, I feel like is going to be very important in this one. For Illinois defensively, we've seen something similar like with Jaden Daniels. How Illinois played Jaden Daniels earlier in the year, I think, is a way to try to have success in this game. I'll give you my, prediction and, thoughts of that, but just give me a little takeaway of how you feel Illinois can stay competitive and close in this, because I think we both believe that's going to happen.
No, Ryan, I think you said it perfectly. I think Illinois' game plan has to be in line with what we did to Kansas. We have to keep Sellers in the pocket and make him beat us with the arm. He has been proven to turn the ball over. He's got 11 fumbles on the season. I'm looking at his interceptions right now. He's got 7 picks on the season. So he can turn the ball over. That's 18 turnovers on the season. We've got to be a little bit careful with, we don't want to get beat over the top, but they're also, I don't know where they're going to beat us over the top from a wide receiver standpoint. They've got some burners, and who's the guy I'm thinking of? Harbor. Harbor is the guy who can go deep on us, right? Nick Harbor, number 8, speedster. No, he's the big guy. I'm trying to think here.
I just know that to be honest with you, that's not really where they had been beating some of the teams, and
right,
really passing the ball deep. So,
no, definitely, we've got to keep Sellers in the pocket and try to make him a pocket passer. Now, the challenge for him is he's 242 pounds. I mean, he's literally as big as Seth Coleman. He's as big as Alec Bryant. So the challenge is when we get opportunities, we got to take him to the ground if we want to win this game. He is an exceptional runner. He breaks a lot of tackles. He broke a ton of tackles against Clemson and was the difference in that late in that game. Why South Carolina won the game is his ability to run and break the pocket and not only make people miss, but break tackles. So we're going to have to try to do the contain game that we did against Jaden Daniels. I'll be honest with you. I think South Carolina, from a defensive perspective, causes us a lot of problems. I think from an offensive perspective, we can cause them some problems. They're without Sanders. They don't have a lot of experience or depth in the wide receiver ranks. Their tight end is going to be their number one target here. Illinois is going to have to find a way to make Sellers beat them with the arm. And if we can do that, we can keep this a low-scoring game, Illinois has got an opportunity to win. The challenge is that South Carolina's defense is exceptional. They've got talent everywhere on the defensive side of the ball. And most notably in number 6, what's his name? The defensive end.
We're talking about a different one, correct? Because Kennard obviously is sitting out. So
no, we're talking. I think it was Stewart is the guy I'm thinking of. Dylan Stewart, 5-star defensive end, cut out of the Myles Garrett realm. Number 6
here.
Yep. He's a challenge. He's a problem, and so if we can keep Luke Altmaier upright, find a way to run the ball a little bit, and I think it's exciting here is that Illinois is going to have to figure out a way to get Malik Elzy the ball, because I believe that Malik Elzy is the receiver that's going to have to take the jump here. Do I believe that Zachary Franklin is going to be the number one receiver? 1,000%. But I think Elzy is going to have to move himself into that role of number 3 behind Colin Dixon. And I think Elzy's got the vertical threat that can keep South Carolina off beat a little bit. That might make a difference in this game, and I'm excited about that. Listen, this is house money.
What's the line?
Care about
What's the line on this, Kev?
10 and a half.
All right. I'm gonna be honest though, Kev. Like I'm putting that on Illinois, right? Are you agreeing that? Would you agree?
Yeah, I think Kanina Odaluga's statement that Illinois didn't come to play in the Citrus Bowl, they came to win the Citrus Bowl, was indicative to me of what the overall team feels about how they're going to attack this game. I don't think that Illinois is just happy to be here. I don't think South Carolina is happy to be here either. I think this team feels like they probably should have had a chance to be in the college football playoff. And if anybody watched that LSU game, you would probably agree. I think LSU got gifted the game by SEC officials. But at the same time, I think Illinois is really ready to compete here. I think they've got guys who want to put real stuff on tape. Zachary Franklin, J.C. Davis, Xavier Scott, Gabe Yakis. I think all those guys want to put some real stuff on tape here for the National Football League. And at the same time, I think there's a good chance that J.C. Davis, Xavier Scott, Gabe Yakis, in that order, come back to Illinois.
Yeah. I was curious if you're hearing some vibes and some buzz down there about what's going on, about some players and stuff like that.
I wish I was. I'm hearing more about like 1990s NFL.
Hey, need I remind you, Ryan? I am the agent, and we'll let you know shit.
Okay, just let me know when the check clears.
No, in all honesty, Ryan, I've spent more time talking to Derek Brownlow, Mike Bellamy, Chris Green, talked to Howard Milton, talked to Josh Whitman, talked to a lot of the guys that are around. But no,
ask Josh if he wants to come on the podcast. Come on, man.
Brownlow's going to come on the podcast. Derek and I talked about this ad nauseum. Like Derek's going to come on the.
Josh Whitman. Yeah. Why not? Why not?
I mean, I see Josh at all the things I go to. Maybe one day he'll recognize me. I'm not.
No, but you could be like, yo, I'm pretty sure blue. But I will say this: when I look around and look, I know just because. Well, I forget the best way to put this. It's like because one team plays one team well doesn't mean your team's going to match them and play well. But when I'm watching Iowa, nearly beat Mizzou, and Mizzou went to South Columbia and nearly beat South Carolina. I'm watching USC beat A&M. I'm sitting here thinking Illinois can compete and play in this game. Like this is
right. And the Iowa thing was interesting because Burden didn't play for Missouri and Caleb Johnson didn't play for Iowa. So it got evened out pretty well there.
It's basically like everybody else. Like the stars are out. Who's got what here? But I will say, I think two things you mentioned earlier. I think Zachary Franklin is man enough and talented enough to go have a big day tomorrow. I mean, you saw what he had a big catch against Oregon. He's made big catches all year. The touchdown he had against Michigan State was nuts, and just you ain't gonna see a better catch than that. Nope. I think Malik Elzy's they're pushing Malik Elzy into this limelight of this game and saying, "You want to be the man next year? You want to be a man next year? Well, let's go. Here you go. Let's go. Go perform."
The thing that I'm looking forward to tomorrow is I want to see Malik Elzy ball in hand, run after catch, because I think Malik Elzy has the potential to be the best run after catch receiver at Illinois. And this is in terms of breaking tackles and accelerating down the field since Aurelius Ben. And that's saying something when you have Pat Bryant and Isaiah Williams that are in that list. I'm excited to see what Malik Elzy can do. He's healthy right now, from what I understand. And I'll be honest with you, man. Illinois is still in the hunt for some wide receivers in the portal. I think Malik Elzy has an opportunity here to show himself. And listen, so does Alex Kapka Jones. I'm just tomorrow is a full opportunity for Illinois to just show what they have and just go forward.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, I'm excited just to see these guys competing against what I think is one of the best teams in the country. Who's really it's just fun to see, like, how can we and take this momentum into next season as well, because
and I want to comment on Brandon's post here. He said the entire JC situation is weird. I don't think the JC situation is weird. I honestly think if I had to put money on it, I think JC Davis stays. I think the Zy Chrysler situation is a little weird, but I think it's a way that Brett Bielema shows that he's a player's coach, the same way that Brad Underwood showed he's a player's coach on Sunday by allowing Kylan Boswell, or Saturday, by allowing Kylan Boswell to get a triple-double. I think it's the same respect. Like, I think Zy Chrysler will probably play tomorrow, probably play a little bit.
So and here's why the JC situation and even the Chryslers isn't weird to me. The junior college thing is the only reason that this was even an option. Like, they were just planning on him going to be a guy that was going to get drafted, mid to late, probably 5th, 6th round, something like that. And just him move on, right? I think we all know he probably will get drafted, but can he improve on that is the biggest thing here. And can he make a nice wage next year at Illinois with NIL while he's doing that? That is a bonus. That's a win-win here. So, and it doesn't hurt to add another year probably of grad school on your resume, does it, Kev? I mean, at Illinois?
No, I think it's very different from an NFL perspective to an NBA perspective. I think we conflate the two of them, right? I think that Terrence Shannon Jr. lasted long enough to get drafted by the Timberwolves because of his age. I don't think that's a problem from an NFL perspective. And JC Davis is pretty young. I think he's just now turning 22. I honestly think JC Davis is going to be back because I think Illinois has the opportunity to offer him some significant NIL. And if you do that, Illinois returns its entire starting offensive line from the last 3 games of the season.
And they're about to add another big one, if you know what I mean. They're about to
Idaho.
I don't know if Idaho, but Illinois is going to add some beef. I'm going to be honest, man. Purdue.
All right.
6'4",
and
6'4", 320.
And then that's and Zy Chrysler has done everything Illinois has asked him to do, and Zy Chrysler has an opportunity to possibly transfer to somewhere else and go play. But yet the kid has done the right thing, and Brett Bielema has done the right thing. He's got an opportunity to play, and that's that. Like Bill Moe said, Zy's here, Henderson's the starter, and Zy wants to go play somewhere else next year, and Zy's going to help the team out in the bowl game.
And you know what? And I love what Brett said in the presser. He goes, "My players know I love them, and I'm going to help him find a good home." Seriously, and he means it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and it's so appealing to us that we have players, coaches on both sides of the street. Right, we can get into this a little bit later. just briefly talk about the Chicago State game. Brett Bielema left Kylan Boswell in to get a triple-double. He let Io DeSumo in the game to get a triple-double against Minnesota too.
And he left Marcus Damask against Duquesne in the NCAA tournament to get a triple-double.
Right. Because these guys understand that by being a player's coach is appealing to other guys that want to come to this program. And that matters. And Zy Chrysler's going to get an opportunity to play tomorrow. You and I, Ryan, we've talked to Zy. We talked to him after the Northwestern game a couple of years ago. Great kid, great guy. Did a great job at Illinois. Appreciative of you. Sorry, Brandon Henderson has passed you up, dude. Great, because there's not really a role for you to play in the interior at Illinois next year as a starter. There's no guaranteed starter role. So if Zy Chrysler wants to go to Mississippi State, by all means, go to Mississippi State. But we're going to put something on film for you tomorrow against a top-notch defensive line from the SEC to see where you're at, and that's great.
Yeah, and he even offered Donovan Leary, do you want to be in the bowl game? Do you want to play? Donovan went and committed to Tulane, but he's allowing these guys opportunities to stay, and I feel like that's what makes Illinois so appealing in the transfer portal, because you got guys leaving the football program who's like, it's not on bad terms, It's like,
amen. You don't burn bridges.
Go to the next team, and guess what? All of a sudden, J.C. Davis had a teammate at New Mexico who, who went to Purdue and didn't really have a great season at Purdue, but he was maybe one of their best offensive linemen. And guess what? Now he's looking for a new home. Hey, word of mouth, J.C. Davis. Hey, man, I think you'd love it here, man. He treats everybody really good. Wow, really? You think so? Yeah, man, come on, take a visit. It's like it's just how it works out, And I think Brett's kind of has changed his ways since Arkansas. I think he said he learned a lot, and you can really tell that he wants to get this right. And so far, flying colors. But I got to tell you, like, this game tomorrow is just to me, I'm looking at it as the catapult into what next season can be. Because when you really look at this team, most of these players are coming back. You already mentioned it, but I truly believe that most of these guys are going to be back. And obviously some guys are going to graduate, but the ones who aren't graduating, I don't believe there's going to be any crazy transfers left that just pop out at the last minute. There might be one or two because, January 5th, they have until the 5th of January to decide that. But I think we're going to have a full deck at running back, a reloaded, locked and loaded offensive line, healthy Cole Rusk, Tanner Arkin back. I think they are going to go out into the portal and get a punter, as Brett Bielema has also mentioned. There's some eyes on maybe a Ben, their tight end special teams coach. He's gone through so much. His first name is Ben, but he came from Air Force. I was told that there's a punter from Air Force that they might be looking at in the portal.
Ryan, when you look at the guys who have NFL potential or returning to Illinois, I think the three biggest names, Oski. I'd take Hudson Clement all day.
Yes, Chief Oski's asking me. You guys probably go for it, Kev. Go for it. Yeah.
Hold on. How would you rank these three guys as probability to return? J.C. Davis, Xavier Scott, Gabe Yakis. 1, 2, and 3, most likely to return.
Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. I would say you said Xavier Scott, right? Xavier Scott 1. J.C. Davis 2, Gabe Yakis 3. And I made it feel like I was told 60-40 Gabe last night, and then someone pretty much came and told me more like 65-35. And I said, okay, well, whatever. I'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Gabe Yakis all along, from what I understood, was going to use his junior year as a year to showcase himself for the NFL, and he did. But I think this is such a new era with revenue sharing, NIL dollars. I think it's pretty likely all three come back.
But I gave you the list, and I want people to know of realistic of what it would be, what it will be. So
I'm with you in the same. I'm in the exact same order, Ryan. I'm in the exact.
I was told today by someone who knows that that J.C. Davis hasn't officially decided yet. But what it boils down to is the NIL collective haven't came to him with an offer yet. So when that does happen, I feel like when he knows how much he's going to get, he's just waiting for that. And I feel like it's leaning towards yes. So they just got to offer him something, and if they may say 300,000, right, and he's going to be like sold, or that's fair. I think Gabe Jackus is going to get that, if not a little more, to come back. So,
yeah, and I think it's probably in that order of money, right? You need to come with Jackus more, Davis second, Scott third. Scott has his brother coming into play next year. Does he want to play with Zanai? I agree with you 100%.
Correct. St. Dominic's Rosary. He was the coach at Air Force. Yes. Special teams guy. It's Disher, but still Ben Miller had cancer for a few years, and he came back to the coaching staff. But he's got ties to Air Force and their punter, possibly being in the portal. And I'm only going to answer Sean once, Kevin, because I'm not trying to be like a squirrel all over. I do it once in a while. Yes, I saw my Cowboys are eliminated. Yeah, congrats to Quan Martin and the Commanders and Johnny Newton and Nick Allegretti. That's awesome for him. Also, Seth Coleman, from it sounds like, is going to play. He's been healthy, and it's been 4 weeks, of him being able to rest. So, but yeah. So now let's get to what Chief Oski said. So I was told not only are they going to add a big offensive lineman, which I want everybody to know, but more than likely it'll be the Purdue offensive lineman who's visiting at.
If not the Idaho.
Yes, I'm just saying they're bringing the Purdue kid on campus to entice the Idaho commit. Okay.
Yep.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're saying basically, listen, shit on the pot. Go ahead.
Kirby Joseph just got his second interception of the night. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My man.
Is he helping the Lions come back and win the game? Is that what he's doing?
He is. He just jumped a route. Interception. Kirby Joseph, second of the night, 9 on the season, is going to lead the NFL in interceptions most likely. That's pretty freaking awesome, dude. I'm sorry, Ryan. I don't do that unless it's in a line.
That's okay. That's all good, man. Let me see here. They're up 6. He just got a pick. So, do they have the ball or the Niners have it?
It's Lions ball, up 6 with 7 minutes.
Okay, sweet. Yes, I want to say this. I don't think personally Gabe improved his draft stock this year. I'm just going to keep it real. I will say this: his freshman year was his best year so far. His
8 sacks this year.
His freshman year was his best year so far. His last year.
No, this year was his best year.
He was way more disruptive his freshman year, in my opinion. But
he had 8 sacks this year. 8. He had 3 as freshman.
I can't. Okay, but I can't forget all the games and times he was just a body, though. Like, it was like there was games where he was amazing, and then there was those games where he was just there.
That's true.
That's why I'm saying
and
that.
a lot of that has to do with Johnny Newton, Keith Randolph as a freshman, where he did not get singled out, and he would make plays that didn't end up in the stat sheet. I will agree with you there.
Okay.
And there were games this year where you're like, where is Gabe Jackus? And there were other games this year was like against Michigan State, like Gabe Jackus is wrecking.
And guess what, though? And you were correct. So you're right about something there. You can't take away what he did sacks-wise. You're right. And there were just games where he was just dominant, and he got like a couple sacks, I think, one game. And then there were 2 games where he just didn't show up, and then 2 games where he was good again. It was more of the consistency his freshman season. That's the way.
Even the Michigan game where he had 2.5 or 3.5 sacks, whatever that nonsense was, they were all in the fourth quarter. He did nothing in the first 3 quarters. I agree.
Okay. And I will tell you this too. The fact that Terrence Brooks hasn't hit the portal yet either is strange to me.
It's not strange to me.
What'd you say?
It's not strange to me.
Go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I don't think it's an ability thing that's keeping Terrence Brooks off the field. I think it's a Terrence Brooks not doing the things that Terrence Brooks needs to do off the field that's keeping him off the field. And I think that Terrence Brooks realized, I think that Aaron has been more than communicative with him. I've talked to Aaron about this directly, and I'm not going to get into specifics here, but I think that Terrence Brooks, we've never talked about this specifically, but I think that Terrence Brooks realizes that Terrence Brooks needs to take care of shit off the field to get on the field, because it's not a Terrence Brooks on the field problem. Guys, it's not a Terrence Brooks on the field problem. Right. And it's not a Terrence Brooks off the field problem like a Kendrick Nunn, LaRon Black, or any of the guys who got kicked off teams for whatever. Like, Terrence Brooks isn't a bad kid. He's not doing bad shit. He's just not doing what he needs to do to see the field. But when he does see the field, he's doing enough to play. And the fact is, we could have an all Big 12 cornerback from 2 years ago be our starting cornerback next year. It's really exciting.
Yeah, it is true. The fact that he hasn't yet. But I will say, he is a guy that, let's not be shocked, though.
If he goes, he goes.
He is a name to watch, to just say, hey, if I see Terrence Brooks in the portal, don't be like, oh my gosh, that's surprising. It shouldn't be, because
hey, listen, if Illinois wins 8 games next year, you look at our schedule. Anybody looks at our schedule. Do we think we won't win 8 games next year? I don't know anybody says no.
Nope.
It'll be the first time in school history when we have 3 seasons of 8 wins or more in 4 years. It'll be the first time in school history we have 3 seasons of 8 wins in 4 seasons.
You know what, Brandon?
And I'm at the point where, like, I don't give a shit if guys leave. I don't. If you want to leave, leave. Like, I trust
Brandon. I'm ready for it to change me. So come on, baby.
I don't care, Ryan. I don't care. This is my point. I don't care. I don't care if guys leave. I don't care if we get another wide receiver and Malik Elzy leaves. I don't. The only guys I care about that leave are guys we've had on this program. The only guys I care about if we recruit over are Dre Gibbs Lawhorn. That's or JoJo Hayden.
Johnson,
guys who Morez Johnson, guys who you and I have talked to on this program who we care about. That's it. That's the only thing. And the only reason why I give a shit is because I care about them as humans. That's it.
Yeah, James Thompson Jr. Woo. Illinois is going to have another NFL draft pick on that D line, and here's the thing that I love: Antoine Jamison. Funny, Coach Jameson. Maybe it would be Antoine Jamison. Terrence Jamison, J-Mo, is a very good defensive line coach, underrated by a lot of people, in my opinion. And I think James Thompson Jr. is going to have an amazing season next year. And the fact Torrey Cox is coming back, that's another thing. There's so many really good players that are coming back next year. I picked Illinois for 10 wins next season. Brandon, hey, we appreciate that, working on a sponsorship for you guys. Hey, we appreciate it. We're going to be posting more of, like, putting it out there, Kev, to retweet it about anybody looking for a sponsor. When anybody want to come sponsor, we'll wear your Cheez-It hat or whatever you got, you know. Is that your rally cap? A sponsor rally cap? So someone mentioned
no, I don't. I think Xavier Scott would have to be guaranteed a first 3 or 4 round pick, and I don't think that's possible right now.
We're serious too, Brandon. I'm serious too. We appreciate it. We'll talk after this too. But let me get back to what Chief Oski said, Kev. So, Hunter, Clarence. Sorry. I just had him up here. The wide receiver from West Virginia.
My goodness, dude.
He's a stud. He's 751 yards, 5 touchdowns, averaging 51 catches, a deep ball threat. He had 166 yards and 2 touchdowns on Memphis in the Frisco Bowl. He's a stud. Is it Clarence Hudson?
Yes, his name's eluding me now.
Hudson Clement. My bad. It's too many names in my head. Yes, Hudson Clement. My bad. So, I was told he has been in contact with the staff and basically telling them he wants in. You know, he's wanting to come here. apparently Rich Rodriguez pissed him off already, and that's really kind of why he wanted to leave. That they didn't have a good interaction. So, and then, the fact that he's a deep ball threat. He saw what Illinois' receivers were doing this year. And Luke Altmaier is a great deep ball artist, if you know what I'm saying. Like, if you go to Subway, you got a good sandwich artist, right? Well, Luke is a good deep ball artist. And tonight you're seeing Kev is a great Cheez-It artist. Now Desmond Schuster still is on the team. We really haven't seen him much, but that goes to say that's a good thing when you got a guy like Desmond Schuster and you really don't see much of him. But I wanted to finish that point though real quick with with Hudson Clement, is that could be at least people are saying, Justin Bowick isn't a wide receiver one. When you look at touchdowns and catches wise, Clement had just as many, if not more yards than Zachary Franklin did this year. So I don't want anybody to sit here and say, that's not a number one guy or he can't be a number one guy. I think when you have Colin Dixon, Elzy, Beatty, Bowick,
Captain Jones, Ashton Hollins, go fight for it. Go figure it out.
You can have a lot of number two guys. That's okay. You can have like 5 number 2 guys, right? You don't have to have the Pat Bryant. You can have a lot of Zachary Franklins, and yes, Barry Kev is in Orlando.
I'd take 1,000 Zachary Franklins, right?
Yes. Yeah. Every guy was like Zachary Franklin.
I mean, granted, we looked at a year where we had 2 years of Isaiah Williams and a year of Pat Bryant. Like, we can go before that. Like, where was the last great wide receiver we had to Illinois? We had to wait for a while. And Zachary Franklin would have been at the top of that list. Casey Washington, his senior year, would have been at the top of that list. So, no, and here's the other thing. Like, this is a challenge for Illinois fans.
Barry canceled his trip. Oh man.
Here's the thing for Illinois fans. If we get a transfer in, we might have a transfer out. And so be it. That's life, dude. If Hudson Clement comes in, and God forbid, in my opinion, because I think Malik Elzy has a ton of ability and ton of talent. And everybody knows I love Ashton Hollins. I love Mario Sanders. If any of those guys transfer out, I'll be a little bit sad, but that's okay.
No, Kevin did not indulge in any adult beverages, man.
I did not have any adult beverages tonight. I had a lot of adult beverages tonight. I can't even say beverages.
Man. What was
Hey, who gives a shit? This is an Illinois fan podcast. I hung out on the Illinois tailgate tonight. I promised to drink to be on the show, and I apologize. But here's the thing.
But let's just keep it real, right? Don't tell anybody. Just keep it between us, okay? What other podcast is a guy getting on here kind of lit? Just this one. Okay, so just remember that. You're not seeing a co-host,
Hey, here's one. Sean Garner asked, why didn't Franklin opt out if he was going to the NFL? Here's the reason. He wants to put some film on tape against SEC cornerbacks.
Yeah.
The same reason why J.C. Davis is playing. Same reason why Xavier Scott's playing. Same reason why Gabe Yakis is playing. And I hope
Kevin's mom thinks he doesn't drink anymore, so I agree. I hope she doesn't either.
Mom's 6 glasses of Chardonnay deep. Like, I ain't worried about that.
Mama Doocy, watch out.
Hey, stay tuned for final thoughts. You want to hear about my mom, for real.
Yeah. So Liddyville is still intact with Thad Ward. Now let's get to the predictions here because we're going to get to final thoughts, and we still have a couple minutes to talk Illini hoops.
Let's talk basketball real quick.
Yes,
actually, should we talk predictions tomorrow, Ryan? Should we talk predictions tomorrow?
Predictions tomorrow. The game's at 2:00. No. I have to work, sadly, and I'm trying to be off by 2. Illinois.
This is Mr. Schroet. My son Ryan has a sore throat and he needs to go home.
Yeah. Illinois, 22nd ranked in the AP poll, goes to number 9, Oregon, Thursday night at 8 p.m. Illinois is number 9 in the net. Oregon's number 10 in the net. This is a matchup. I'm telling you, I talked about it for weeks. I think Illinois matches up very well with them. Their point guard Shellstat, while he did have a good game against Weber State, he's really not an offensive kind of guy. He's more of a he's more of a defensive type and a very good passing point guard. Kasparis, I have to referee lots of missed calls tomorrow. Kasparis Jakusionis, I think, is just better. They have a big that's gonna have to come out and cover Tomislav, which I don't believe he's gonna be able to handle very well. They are a good team. The only loss this year, a buzzer beater, banked 3-pointer against UCLA. Otherwise, they're probably 12-0 or 13-0 and ranked right behind Auburn, in the top 3. So still, but I think that goes to show you that I'm going to pick Illinois in a close one in Eugene. And yes, I get it's a long flight. I understand, right, you guys? They're flying tomorrow night to Eugene to get there a couple days early. But I like us. I think Illinois, how Kylan Boswell's playing right now, Kev, has just been really impressive to me. He's finding ways to score even when his shot wasn't falling. I think even though I'm not going to rip on Benny Humrickhouse. The point is I'm okay with him playing. He just needs to play a little less. I think Merez Johnson needs to play a little bit more. I actually like the minutes we're getting from Jake Davis. I think 5 to 7 minutes from Jake Davis if you take a few from Ben and give them to Jake, because Jake Davis is hitting shots now, and he's going to rebound. He's going to dive for loose balls. He's going to try to defend. And Will Riley, seeing the ball go through the hoop's a good thing. And I think Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn's feeling himself right now. I think, yeah. And Merez Johnson, for a guy, if you look at the guy's minutes and you look at his numbers, if you gave the guy 25 minutes a game, he'd probably give you a double-double every game, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I want Sean, we didn't rise much because we played Chicago State, who is arguably the worst team in Division I college basketball.
Chicago thinks they're a state, but anyway.
I really like that Noble Crawford guy, dude. I honestly looked to see if he had any eligibility left. He didn't. I really liked 11 Noble Crawford. I think that dude could play. But here's the thing. One of the things Illinois did in the basketball game on Saturday, we ran something we literally haven't ran, I don't think, since Bill Self. We ran some high-low. And Tomislav Ivisic and Merez Johnson can run the high-low. And that is a wrinkle that is very, very interesting. And it works because if you're going to run somebody small out at Tomislav, he can shoot over him. If you're going to run somebody big out him, Merez can post him up. Tomislav's a good enough passer. Listen, I have been the biggest Ben Humrickhouse stan that you can be. And just he played 18 minutes on Saturday, and that's fine. He can stretch the floor. We need Merez to play. I love the dunk that Merez had. That was so much. Yeah, we did. Barry's right. We did run it with Georgie and Kofi, but that was so beautiful. That dunk that Merez had in the post.
That's his second or third poster I think he's had.
Right. And then here's the thing.
What about Drake Lawhorn poster?
Ooh. Yeah, but here's the thing about Georgie and Kofi on the high-low is that Georgie, I think, in college shot 20% from 3. Tomislav's shooting 35%. So it definitely changes the dynamic of how you want to come out and guard him. I look for, hey, listen, every time at this point in the season, Illinois under Brad Underwood has adjusted. I look for that high-low to be an adjustment. It was really nice to see Will Riley make some threes, who's shooting worse than Ben Brickhouse, as our friend St. Dominic Rosary likes to talk about, over the last 8 or 9 games. Ben Humrickhouse adds some flexibility to this roster. I don't think he's going to continue to see starters minutes.
He's a brick.
House. But dude, it was really nice. It was nice to see, dude. The other aspect about it is that Dre for the second game in a row hit that mid-range pull-up middle lane.
He's got such a nice touch. It's all net too. It's always all net right there.
Right. And that's where Dre needs to do. That's what Dre needs to do. Dre needs to realize I am not specifically a 3-point shooter on this team. I need to get to the bucket and create things because Dre passes the ball well enough. Like he is not going to lead this team in assists, typically night in and night out, but he can create matchup problems where guys collapse to him and he can kick out. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited about where this offense is going. I think the defense got really lax against Chicago State, but when you're up 34 points at halftime, it's hard to stay.
When you win by 53, I mean, you can't really.
It's hard to stay locked in on defense. Let's be real. But can we talk about this? Like, there's a lot of national media out there that's kind of blasting Brad. Like, what's Boswell doing in there to get a triple double? Dude, if you don't realize that's a player's coach, and he has got a lot of shit for him about being not a player's coach. He yells at kids and all this shit. Like, dude, the guys who have got triple doubles at Illinois are Mark Smith, Sergio McClain. Those were pre-Brad Underwood. And then we got Io's got 2. 1 he was specifically left in the game to get against Minnesota. Coleman Hawkins, Marcus Damask, Kylan Boswell. So we have 7 triple doubles in the history of the program. 5 have been under Brad's watch. That's because Brad cares about players. He understands that players care about statistics, and that helps recruit guys.
And Kev, think about that. Like you just said, the other media or coaches are saying, "Why is he doing that?" Blah blah blah. Guess what? You don't think players see that and want to come play for a guy like that?
Dude, I thought it was so awesome. We had a walk-on, knock down a 3 for him to get the triple-double. That was awesome.
Like, players see what Brad's doing for
Damn
you.
Right.
That's the best recruiting pitch you can have.
And I guarantee you that 3 happened with like a minute and a half, 2 minutes left to go in the game. If that didn't go in, Kylan Boswell's night was done.
And here's one thing that I like that I'm seeing the adjustment with. So with Ben Humrichhouse's minutes are going down a little bit, and they're saying, okay, we thought that this guy was just going to probably stick to 30 minutes and just keep spacing the floor out. Okay, well, that's not working right now. So what can we do? Let's do a little more high-low with Thomas Love and Merez, right? Let's change it up a little bit. Let's put Jake in there because Jake can space the floor still. You know, like it's not just here's circle, here's square peg. Let's just pound it in here. Okay, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and Merez will continue to be in foul trouble because he's a freshman, and that's okay. And then you bring it, and then you can rotate Humrichhouse in, and you change what the defense has to do for how they guard you.
Dominic's so I'm going to nip this in the ash real quick before we get to final thoughts.
Yes,
anybody who is the whole Jeremiah Fears is going to be a lottery pick. Well, what's KJ going to be?
Right, because that's the difference, right? If you guys listen to the podcast that Ryan and I have with Ryan Ferrand, you have to understand the dynamic of the timeline, right? Kylan Boswell commits to Illinois. Jeremiah Fears is committed to come to Illinois in the 25-26 season. Illinois says, are you going to reclass? He says no. Illinois goes out and finds Kasparis Jacksionis, who comes to Illinois. Jeremiah Fears goes to an AAU tournament, and Ryan Ferrand and everybody who watched him said, this is the moment where he realized I can play at the next level. And Jeremiah Fears had put on some weight. He put on some strength. He went out there. He dominated. And he said, guys, Illinois, I'm ready to play this year. Can you guarantee me 25 minutes a game? And Brad Underwood said, no, I cannot guarantee you 25 minutes a game. And he said, well, what should I do? And he said, you should probably look somewhere else. And it wasn't like Illinois told him, no, we just can't guarantee you 25 minutes a game in this backcourt.
They spent $1 million on Kasparis, dude. That's just how it is.
Right. And it's also NIL. Right. Ryan, you said it the best, right? NIL had a part to do with it. And the other aspect about it is, like, do you want him, like, where you could go big. You could go small, excuse me. You could go Kasparis, Fears, and Boswell, but you already had commitments from Booth. You already had commitments from White. You already had commitments from Humrichhouse. Like, you just couldn't do it. And it wasn't like Illinois told Jeremiah Fears, you can't play here. We just couldn't guarantee him 25 minutes. And honestly, Ryan Ferrand told us the plan was for him to go to Oklahoma, spend a year there, and then come back.
I will say, if Fears doesn't go into the draft and is a first round pick. I honestly feel like he will come back to Illinois. So
He might.
Thanks,
He
Brandon.
might.
We'll talk. We'll talk sponsor. Yes, $1 million Kasparis. I was told it's like $950 to $1 million. So
and
it's worth every penny. He might be the best freshman season we've ever seen at Illinois. So
I love Jeremiah Fears. I take Kasparis over him 10 times out of 10.
Yep. I think any other year, if they hadn't went and had KJ available and wanting to come, they probably would have just taken Jeremiah. And guess what? We would be happy, but it'd probably be a little different happy. I don't know.
I think Jeremiah changed his tune in June. I mean, come on. Like, there's got to be some aspect of this that says, and listen, who are the two best basketball players at Illinois right now? Who are the two guys, like, you can get rid of everybody on the basketball team, save two. You choose Kasparis and Boswell.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it might be a
Brandon. You guess what? And you'd be surprised who's the second highest paid player on the team is.
Is he playing?
He's a freshman too. It's pretty easy to figure out. Come on. Will Riley.
Yeah, for sure.
Will Riley.
I just know Ty was getting a nice bag.
But he did. But yeah. So KJ's on. Will Riley's on a 2-year plan, but his 2-year payout is the second most for many of the players. KJ's like a 1-year deal. They already knew. Like, anyway. Anywho, let's get to
the predictions tomorrow
and final thoughts. So Kev, you go first. 10.5 point spread. 2 p.m. ABC.
I think Illinois covers the spread. I think they lose, though. I'm going to take South Carolina 27, Illinois 24.
Okay. That's actually really close. You know what, Kev? My heart, is saying one thing and my mind saying another.
I wish we played Bama, Ryan. And here's the thing. Like, I talked to so many South Carolina fans here today. I have a sticker on my shorts that says beat Illinois because I wanted to keep it because how many times in our life have people made stickers that said
I will
beat
laugh
Illinois?
my ass off
rare.
if Pat does come out and show up tomorrow. Anyway.
Right. But it's just one of those things, like, it's really cool for us. But I think South Carolina really gives a shit about this game. I think they really do. I think Illinois, I've said this before, I think Illinois was a 6-6 team that found a way to win 3 games that maybe they shouldn't have. And I think that South Carolina is a 9-3 team that I didn't watch all their games. They should have lost to Old Dominion, but they should have.
Yeah, I was going to say, true. They could have easily lost to Old Dominion week 1.
But I think that there's a lot of NFL defensive linemen for South Carolina, and that could cause us some problems.
You know what? What the hell? It doesn't matter. Illinois is 9-3. Illinois 24. South Carolina 21.
Let's go, Ryan. You got the ball.
Come on, baby.
I'm not sober. I should call
that by 3. Illinois by 3. All right. Final thoughts, Kev. I want you to begin as well because I know you've got a special and important one. So go for it.
I'm gonna try not to get emotional about this, right? So I'm gonna let you guys all into my personal life for a half a second here. I bought a new house in July, moved into July. You guys might have seen the different background and what was going on the show. And if you did, kudos. I appreciate all of you. Love all of you for watching. I haven't sold my second house yet. And so my wife and I have been dealing with 2 mortgages.
Yep. All right. Go for it. I'm going to get you some real good music, some like somber. Go for it.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. But anyway, this is a shout out to my mom. I've never asked my mom for money. My mom's never given me money. It's a great relationship that I truly appreciate. And she reached out to me a little less than a week ago, and she said, "Are you going to the game?" I said, "I'm not going to the game, Mom." She's like, "Why are you not going to the game?" And I said, "Because right now it doesn't make sense financially for us to go to the game." And my mom said, "Okay, cool." And she called me back the next day. She's like, "I'm sending you the game." And she offered to send me and my entire family. My wife has too much work stuff going on for my daughters and I to come, for all 4 of us to come. And my wife and my mom, kudos to both of them. My wife said, "You go alone." Happen. It wasn't going to be able to happen if that wasn't the case. And I had a moment tonight that was really pretty cool. So I'm 46 years old. And I think there's a height of fandom that happens when you're a kid, right? And that height of fandom comes when you're like somewhere between 10 and 14 years old. And the 1989 team was led by Jeff George, obviously, but on defense it was led by Derek Brownlow, Mike Bellamy, Chris Green, three of the most underrated guys in Illinois football history. And I say this because I think Derek Brownlow is the third best middle linebacker to play at Illinois, and that's arguable because he was just as good as Dana Howard. He just didn't have the guys around him.
He won Super Bowls with the Cowboys, didn't he?
Derek Brownlow might have.
Yeah, he played with the Cowboys. I'm looking at it right now. Continue on. Sorry.
Derek Brownlow is an all-time. He had the Illinois tackles record until Dana Howard broke it. Mike Bellamy is one of the top 10 receivers in Illinois history. People don't talk about because he never broke 1,000 yards. But Mike Bellamy and Chris Green spent 6 years in the National Football League, most of them with Miami and some of them with Buffalo, number 30. I remember all of these guys, and I sat down at the bar tonight with my buddy Pete, who interrupted the show tonight, and I appreciate you guys for dealing with it. And I looked down the line, and I talked to Derek Brownlow at the Michigan game at the dedication, and I was like, holy crap, that's Derek Brownlow, Mike Bellamy, Chris Green. Go on my Twitter. You can see it. I took a picture of the three of us with my buddy Pete. It was just a really cool moment for a kid. And I talked to Chris Green about it afterwards. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm sorry for fanboying. And he was like, listen, man, the fact that you respect and appreciate us the way that you do means a lot to us. And we both kind of got teary-eyed. At least I saw it that way. I won't say that Chris got it because he was an NFL defensive back, but it was just a really cool experience. And I would tell all of you here, if you're watching this show, you're a true Illinois fan. Just take some time, save some money. This will be a bowl team next year. Go watch Illinois in a bowl game. Go see Illinois play on the road. I talked to Kevin Farrell again tonight. It's the third time I've seen Kevin Farrell. It's the third football game I've been to. I ran into Kevin Farrell, Pat Farrell's dad, every time. We shared a hug. We shared a high five. It's just a really cool experience.
We need to get Pat Farrell on. Can we get Pat Farrell on the show?
Yeah, I'll see Kevin tomorrow and I'll talk to him about it, man. I'll talk to him about it. But it's just awesome, man. It's just really cool. And I think about I went to go see Illinois play at Michigan a few years ago, and I talked to Brian Cook's family. I talked to Roger Powell's family. Just when you go on the road, it's just the access to meet these players and meet their families and meet. It's just different, man, and it's really cool. And I don't get this experience if it's not for my mom, and I'm thankful for that. And I'm not the Illinois fan. I am without my stepdad, Kevin Kramer. Kevin, my mom and him divorced when I was probably 14 years old, but he still means the world to me. I just want to say thank you because I don't know who these guys are without them, and just it was a special experience. So thank you.
I'm very happy that you got to go, and honestly, so I'm sure.
Dude, honestly, Ryan. I mean, one of the things, like when my mom said she was going to send me, I felt bad. Like I couldn't take you with me, man. Like I want you and I want you to come with me to the next one, man. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I have to, and I've already told the lady of the house that I'm going. So she wants to go too and bring my son. So I said that'd be fine. I don't care where they play next year. And I'm not talking about the college football playoff home game Illinois is going to host. I'm talking about whatever bowl. I'm talking about the Fiesta Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Rose Bowl. I'm talking about the Peach Bowl. All right, Bubba, hold on. Daddy's almost done here. And I'll get it for you. All right, so my final thought is, you know what? I didn't really know all the stuff that Kevin's been going through right now. And so you've been paying 2 mortgages basically, correct? Okay. So there'd been moments behind the scenes since he's getting personal that he'd been really short and really emotional with me. And I was like, what? Something's bothering Kevin. I was just thinking in my head, but you know what? And he can tell you, not one time did I get crazy out of the loop. Did I say like, bro, what the fuck's your problem, dude? Like, get the fuck, you know? I just was like, he's probably going through some stuff. I don't know what it is. But you know what? I'm not going to overreact to what he's saying. I'm just going to take a step back and just let him breathe. And then he's came back and he apologized to me a couple times. But that goes to show you, since I've been through so much bullshit, sometimes it's good to take a step back when someone else is, maybe you can tell something's bothering them, instead of being like, you know what, don't fuck you, don't talk to me like that. Maybe just have some sympathy, some empathy, and things will all work out. So I'm really glad that things have worked out for Kevin here. And I'm sure his house will be bought sooner rather than later. So, moral of the story, be good friends to your friends. And, look at this. And good things eventually will come. And I know my time's coming next year. This time it's coming. So, Illinois 24, South Carolina 21. Illinois is going to beat Oregon Thursday night.
I agree with that 100%.
Oh, man. So, Nathan Durst, we appreciate you. Any last thing you want to say before we jump off here? Anything cheesy?
Where's
Pete? Is Pete there? Where's Pete?
He ran out. I don't know what Pete did.
Okay.
Pete was one of my first. So I went to a Catholic grade school, and then I knew a lot of guys I was going to high school with, but Pete was one of the first friends that I met in class, and I appreciate him. And I just told him I was coming. He's like, dude, I'm on my way. So kudos to Pete. Love him to death, dude. Saw him in Kansas City a couple of years ago when Illinois played in that. And but I really want to say thank you to some of the people here who chimed in. St. Dominic's.
Are you a devout Catholic, Kev?
I'm a devout Christian. I have Catholic roots. I don't
think you're going to be burying any statues in St. Joseph in your backyard, are you?
I'm not opposed to it, man. I'm not opposed to it, dude. The Lord works in mysterious ways, and I just want to tell, like, my friend Nathan Durst, who I've had the pleasure of meeting, man. One of the things about this show that I've struggled with is I have a potty mouth, and I know that some of the people here on this show know me personally and know that my devout belief in Christ, and have put up with it. And the fact that I'm a little bit inebriated and I swear a lot, and people still come here and tell me, like, it's okay. I appreciate that from Nathan Durst. I appreciate it from St. Dominic's Rosary. I appreciate all you guys, man. And it's just a lot of fun. Ryan and I, like, we spend hours upon hours on this show weekly. We talk about it before we go on. And I just appreciate all you guys, man. And just go Illini, dude. It's a lot of fun. Thank you all. I appreciate it. And most definitely, Mom, love you. Appreciate you. Carol, love you. Appreciate you. Thank you for making it happen.
We love you, Mama Ducey. And before I swami out, we won't see you until 2025. Have an amazing last day of 2024. We'll see you next year.